Hello, everyone. How's it going? Happy payrolling 2020. We're almost a month into the new year 2020. There have been a lot of changes to the way you calculate federal withholding this year. In this video, I'm going to show you a little bit about the payroll in Excel application that I've built. It works in any situation in any state, has some customization that I can add to it. In this video, we're going to show you North Carolina because we're doing a video about how to calculate North Carolina state rates and how you enter in all this data. And also, if you're a small business that needs to convert from whatever system you're using into this year, towards the end of the video is going to be about 10 minutes long, but toward the end of it, we'll go over how you update line by line if you have your own withholdings you already made for employees' paychecks that have already happened, how to get that into this file so that it's recorded for the whole year and everything works. But let's go through it as fast as we can. Pause and rewind if you need to. We're going to be going quick. So when it comes to North Carolina, you need to gather some information from your employees. They need to fill out the North Carolina W-4 type form. When you get their name, Social Security, if they're working off an old W-4, you put the number of allowances right here that they would have. If they fill out a new W-4, you put yes here, and then all this other stuff opens up to the right that you need to fill out in purple. I'm not going to go through that in this video. There's a whole video about the W-4 for 2020 if you need to know about that. Married, yes or no? How many state exemptions? That's your North Carolina state exemptions do they have? And also, what is their North Carolina state filing status? It can either be head of household or really other is all that matters. But I give you all the options, single, married, filing jointly, whatever. But the North Carolina deduction allowance amount is going to be related to what the state filing status is. So that's the employee information that you need. After that, you can enter in daily hours. These are our Pokemon employees. Bulbasaur is Pokemon number 1. Ivysaur is Pokemon number 2. Like to use Pokemon names thanks to my son. So put some hours in here. You can put regular overtime holiday. You can also pay them by a type of project, but I won't get into that in this video either. Let's talk about the payroll records and the frequency of it. So there are a ton of columns hidden in this. This is the crux of it. If you go and unhide this, what you see are a million different formulas. And it's doing taxes on all kinds of different states and doing many different scenarios. You don't need any of that because we customize it and we drill it down to just what you need. You need North Carolina in this situation. So when we go back to that, you'll see that one of the only things that's going to be shown is just some things that we're going to look at for this file. So what you can see is your North Carolina area is right over here, North Carolina. And all you need to do for North Carolina is you need to figure out what allowance amount you need. That's based on their North Carolina filing status. That's this formula right here. It's saying if they chose head of household, you're going to deduct $310.10 from their taxable wage base before you figure out what their taxable wage base for North Carolina is going to be. If they're not head of household, it's $206.73. You do that, then you need to figure out how many other allowances do they deduct from their pay. You're going to take their North Carolina W-4 allowance amount or exemption amount, times it, which is $48.08 is how much that is. You're going to multiply that times the number of exemptions that they put there. I think this employee put 1. And you're going to take both of those numbers and subtract them from what the taxable wages were when you started. You know, if they had $50 an hour for 40 hours, it's like $2,000 or something like that. That's your taxable gross. You then deduct these things I just mentioned from that number and multiply the remainder, whatever's left is the taxable wage base. You multiply that amount times 5.35%. That's the new rate for this year for North Carolina. Put that, and you're going to get your taxes. So it's pretty quick. North Carolina is pretty easy. So once you do that, then all your other reports and pay stubs and everything are all dynamic in this file. You just choose the date and everything else is going to fill it in automatically. These are your drop-down reports where you just choose, a month or a quarter. In this case, you're choosing Q1. It's going to fill out your 941, show you all the information that's due. If you don't want to look at a quarter, you just want to look at a month or say a pay period. If you You just click a pay period, and there's no activity there, but click a pay period there, and you're going to get all the data. And you're also going to get all your employee breakdown information, your employee's name, what their taxes were in each one of these lines, your Social Security, your Medicare, the total amount 941 tax due that you have to pay, what the net paychecks were for the employees, things like that. We also have a similar report over here just for North Carolina. Choose just North Carolina, choose like the month, or when you choose a quarter, it's the best because it then pops it in month by month if you have to report and pay monthly. We also have other pivot sheets that you can refresh to get more detail and open up and break down and shrink. It's really endless. You have W-2s, click the name, and you're going to get the W-2 breakdown for everybody. And here's information on the new W-4 if you want to learn how that works and have new employees that you're hiring for the year. What I'm going to end with here is talking about, well, what happens if you already started your payroll for the year and you get this file and you need to bring everything in so that all your annual reports and your quarterlies and everything are current. Well, and something doesn't match exactly as the formula in this file. Well, what you could do is you could say, all right, look at your pay period, like the very first pay period of the year for this is a weekly pay file. Is this paycheck on the first of the year? And all of these different columns are going to give you information that you need. Well, what if your federal tax withheld was different than what this formula gave because you did it a different way first week of the year? Well, you can look for, there's something called current federal tax withheld, and there's additional, there's current, there's all kinds of stuff. You can find them and you can override the amount that's in the formula. So if you had a different state tax number, you would just type over this formula right here, like, oh, I only withheld $71 for Bulbasaur's paycheck on the first. You can type over it. The rest of them are going to stay formula, so the rest of the year is going to be fine. But it's that easy. Change the state tax. Let's change the federal withholding for this one because the federal withholding is a super complicated formula with all these like 9 or 10 formulas here. Oh, we didn't withhold 311. We only withheld 293. Boom. Change that, and you can see that everywhere, for example, the pay stub for that period just changed. It's now 293 is the federal withholding for that. All your 941 reports, everything just changed. You can see the 293 just changed everywhere, and you refresh the pivot and boom, it's going to change here too, as it does right there. So it's as easy as you can do it. If you want to bring the formula back, you just copy one of the cells with the formula and paste it back, and you get the old formula result of what it should have been essentially if you used all the formulas in this file. So it's very easy to update any line item amounts that are not exacting what your current payroll records are providing, and you need to get all that data in here. I've done a lot of forensic work for people to reconstruct business withholding amounts from previous years and stuff. This file is really versatile, and it can handle any way you want to enter the data, any way you want to calculate hours. So it's only a $100 template, and I'm trying to get every state tax in here. There's some customizations after the $100 if you require me to do any real work, but a lot of stuff's already built in. So as I say, it's like the least expensive payroll application for small businesses that you can find. So that is North Carolina, and that's the payroll file here. And if you have any questions, go to kenberverman.com or contact me, and happy payrolling.